Land banking is a scam. Yes, for some people. So I'm going to be explaining to you what most people get wrong when land banking right here in Nigeria and how they end up feeling like they have been scammed after buying land. Now, land banking is simply a strategy, a long-term strategy where you get to buy land in a developed or developing areas and you allow this land to appreciate and you get to resell it in the future. Now, what you should know about land banking is that first, it is a long-term investment. It is a long-term strategy. It is not something that you will do instantly and then you try to get the result instantly. Now, I often hear people say, I want to buy land this year and resell it next year. Well, why that is possible, it is important to know where you are buying. Now, because if you know where you are buying, that place will determine whether you can resell immediately or you have to wait for a longer period of time. So if you are planning to buy and resell land within a year or in few months, I usually suggest that you buy in already developed locations or locations that are fast developing with people building or people residing in that particular area. This is because there will be demand for properties or for land in such area. So let's take, for instance, a particular place, people are building massively and are moving into that particular area massively. If you buy land in such area, it means that within the next 1 year, there is tendency that people are also looking for lands in that particular area where they can build too. It means that there is demand for that particular place. So you can easily resell your land in that particular area because there is demand for land in that particular area. But in a case you bought a land, maybe in a developing location where there is no yet access road, where there is no construction going on, where there is no government project going on, just a vacant land with bushes, with no infrastructures around it, and you want to resell the next year, my dear, it is not possible. This is because that particular area needs a lot of things before there will be demand for land in that particular area. It means that you have to give that place time for construction to come in, for access road to be built, for government presence to be there, and for other infrastructures to come to that place before you can be able to resell that place. And that is where the long-term strategy comes in. This is where you get to wait for that land to experience development before you'll be able to resell. Now, what happens is that if you buy land in this kind of area that doesn't have any development yet, you may not be able to resell immediately because there is no demand for land in that particular area yet. So this is where people get it wrong, because they will go and buy land in a place that still needs a lot of development before people will start demanding for land in that area. They will buy land in such area and then they will expect to resell it after 2 months, 3 months, or even 1 year. And they will not see anybody that wants to buy land in such area. And then they will consider it like they have been scammed by buying into such area. And that is where people get it wrong. So if you want to land bank, you need to understand this. Where you are buying is very important, and the budget you are using to buy. Land banking does not mean you have to buy a bush and wait for 20 years or 30 years before you'll be able to reap your profit. You can also buy in town and do little touches on the land and then resell the land almost immediately. But for you to be able to buy in already developed location or inside town, your budget have to be high, because you know that there'll be demand for properties there, and definitely when there is high demand, the price of that particular property goes up. So for you to be able to buy in already developed location, you really need to have a higher budget. But in a case, say you have 500,000 naira, 1 million naira, 2 million naira, up to 5 million naira, and you are buying land for land banking, know that you are doing it for a long-term purpose. Know that you are going to have patience, you are going to wait for the place to appreciate, you are going to wait for development to come to that area before you'll be able to sell. Then another thing that people get wrong is that they see land banking as a get-rich-quick scheme. So somebody wants to buy land today for 1 million naira and want to resell next year for 10 million naira. How do you want to do that? So because people see land banking as a get-rich-quick scheme, maybe because of the way they were marketed to, oh, come and buy this land, it is appreciated to 5 million by next month, and you bought, not knowing that for you to be able to resell, you have to give that place time to develop so that there will be demand. It is when there is demand, that is when you'll be able to resell that land conveniently. So that is another thing that people get wrong when land banking. And then finally is that people see land banking as something they will have to get the profit immediately. Recently, somebody bought land from one of our properties that we sold, and he reached out to me that he wants to resell that land and nothing is happening there, right? Then I began to, advise him. So buying land does not mean that you have to resell it, even when you don't need the money for anything, but because you feel like the place is not developing and you just want to resell that land. Not knowing that many cities that we're seeing today took years before they turn fully into a city. So if you are in a hurry to resell your land or to resell your property, maybe after 1 year or 2 years, because you are feeling like the place is not developing or nothing is happening there, then you don't understand land banking. So land banking is something that your profits, you can repeat immediately, and as well you can repeat in the future. And it's not something that you have to get immediately. That is my point. So you have to give it time. You have to give it time. So if you are buying land, don't be in a hurry to resell, because appreciation in real estate happens with time. But if you are quick to resell, you may not be able to enjoy the full pottage that comes from land banking. So these are the things that people get wrong. So when you are doing land banking, know that it is not a get-rich-quick scheme, and know that it is a long-term strategy, and also know that it is something that you are doing for the future. It is something you are doing for the future. So when you see people say, oh, I bought this land 1 million 10 years ago and today it's selling for 100 million. When you check the gap, or you check the number of years they waited for that land to move from 1 million to 100 million, you see that they waited for like 10 to 15 or probably 20 years before that land appreciated. So, but because you don't understand what land banking is, you buy a land today for 200,000 or for 1 million, and by next year, you want to sell it for 20 million. These are the things that people get wrong, and then they feel like they have been scammed, or they feel like land banking is a scam. Let me explain to you what land banking really is, so that you know how to go about it. It is a beautiful strategy that you can make a lot of money from in real estate investment. So land banking has made a lot of people money. In fact, I have a friend that the parents are training their younger ones abroad, and it is through land banking that they are using to fund their children's education. So here is what land banking really is. First, it's a long-term strategy. Second is that you need to understand that you don't have to pressure yourself to resell immediately. You have to look for lands that are within your budget, especially if it is a developing look that are within your budget, and then you look for locations that are within your budget. Then buy such land and give it time. Yes, give it time. Then second thing you can do is that you can let the land be for a period of 5 years at maybe max, and then you can resell. Maybe after 5 years, you can resell that land and buy into another location. And that is why I usually advise that when you are buying land in a particular location, don't just buy one plot. Buy more than one plot. Buy like 2 plots, 3 plots, 1 acre, 1 hectare, depending on your capacity. But please don't buy one plot if you know that you have money for more than one. This is what happens if you buy one plot. If you buy one plot and the place develops, you may be forced to sell that land, and when you sell it, you will lose entirely from that particular area. But if you have 2 plots, you can resell one and still retain one. As the place is developing, you can develop on the land or still resell it at a very higher price. So I usually advise that you buy more than one plot, so that in the future, after holding that land maybe for the period of 5 years, you can resell one of the plots and then buy into another location. With that way, you are not only making money for yourself, but you're also building wealth for yourself. These are the steps you can take to land bank right here in Nigeria and make money for yourself. Hope you found this helpful. So if you want to start your land banking journey right here in Nigeria, especially in Enugu, I have genuine and secured lands that you can use to kickstart your land banking journey right here in Enugu or even in Asaba, with a minimum deposit of 1 million naira or even 500,000 naira, and you get to secure lands and get to build wealth for yourself and also secure the future of your kids. So if you want to get started today, all you need to do is to reach out to me on the number showing on your screen on 081-4704-2804, and I'll gladly guide you and help you. So until I come to your face again, keep investing in real estate, keep watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next one.